the world of color. The world of color and lighting, those are the designer's two number one tools. Without that, we have nowhere to start. Both of them interact together. Not trying to be obvious about it, but like warm light is going to affect coloration obviously different than if you had a cool light, like a blue light. So when we talk about lighting, we'll go through all of that and the lumens and everything. But I wanted to focus on color today. It's probably the number one question my clients ask me. Where are you going to start, Laura? How do we do this? How do we know what we want and what do we start with? And the answer is, let's pick a color palette. And of course, to a lot of people, that can be a nightmare. But for us, it's the ability to hear what your needs are, where you are today in your life. In other words, did you just have a baby? Maybe this is your first apartment. Maybe you just got married, and maybe you're an empty nester. All of those aspects of our life and our journey influence how it is we interact in our atmosphere. And of course, color is the one that's going to support that. So once you tell me your story and I can hear where you're coming from, then I can start to formulate something that's going to reflect, no pun intended, something that's going to reflect the atmosphere that you're going to be able to feel, that happy, joyful, enthusiastic, and maybe even calming approach. So anyway, where do we get our color from? Oh, of course, our inspiration is from Mother Nature. Well, at least it is for me, and I absolutely love it. She's amazing. She can blend pink with orange and gray and gold, and it all just goes together. This is from the earth. Look at this. Look how beautiful muted these colors are. Just vibrant, but muted. What an atmosphere that would create. And even here, simplicity. She's awesome. This is actually purple and cream and white and gold and black and gray. Again, you talk about setting a tone in your home that is a creative, this is it. I just have a blast with color. There's also inspiration from artisans. Maybe somebody gave you a gift, or maybe you went to an art show and you found a piece that you absolutely love. This is something that I found at an art show here locally, and it's just blown glass, but look at the coloration in it. I don't know why, I'm just drawn to this, and that's the key to a true color palette. It's colors that you the client, you are personally drawn to, and that's what I have to do as a designer. I have to find that key component to create an atmosphere that you're going to feel. Again, maybe it's just time for you to break down those barriers. We're in a strange time right now. There's a lot of fear out there. Even just painting your walls will change your atmosphere so that you can see things differently. Maybe even just feel different when you wake up in the morning. So much of what we do is influenced by our surroundings. So let me help you. Let's help you find that perfect color palette, even if it's just changing out. Maybe it's a carpet or a rug. Maybe it's just the doormat, your entry into your home. Maybe it is your bed linens. Maybe you just get a new duvet cover. I got one. It's gold. I love it. I feel so energized in it. I never thought I'd be a gold person, but there it was. I had to even understand my own story, like where do I want to go next to even appreciate that, you know what? I want to take a little adventure. I'm just going to buy this cover. I found it on sale, and again, I was just drawn to it. That's the trick of a true designer. I am going to be able to feel what it is you're drawn to. And then I'm going to create an entire program around that. You know, when we say that we're going to come up with a color palette for you, and we usually pick out about 5 different colors. They want to be in the same tone. So if you're going with warm tones, stick in the yellows, stick in the, taupey, warmth, the orange. And if you're going to create a different atmosphere, then you could go into the blues and the greens and the cooler colors. Kind of like when you pick out your clothing. Although personally, I wear a lot of black, so for me, picking out color is just fun because I just accent with it. And there's another trick. You don't want to paint every wall a different color. You want to have, it's called a shadow effect. So if you pick a palette and you enjoy it, you start at the top, that's your darkest one, and you go to the lightest one. We actually call these whites at the bottom down here. But if you're going to create an entire home atmosphere, stay within this palette. Maybe your bathroom is this yummy dark color, and then maybe your bedroom is just in the medium color, but the remaining house is all that white. Now you've just opened up yourself to the availability to, maybe you don't have the ability to do new furniture or rugs or artwork, but just by simply changing and staying within one palette, you can change the whole tone of your atmosphere, your whole home, your whole attitude will take on a new perspective. I want to share a story with you and how it is that the simple things really do count and make a difference in our well-being. And we don't think about it. So I had a client, actually they weren't even my client. They called me and they said, we need help. Can you come over and tell us what you can do for us as a designer? Of course, absolutely. Well, I thought I was going to go over there and help them design a bathroom. I get in there. His wife had had a stroke about 10 years earlier, and he was also, they're older in life and they were having their children move in with them, so he had just purchased this very nice sized home to house his family. So I went over there and they are talking to me, and Maria had a hard time. She was talking very harsh. It was hard, but I'm a nurse by degree, so I really was able to understand what she was trying to say. So I put this amazing program together for their bathroom. And basically what it was is Maria she had a quad cane, and she needed to be able to move around the bathroom very comfortably and not worry about tripping. So we did some really cool elements with the height of her countertops and no barrier shower, things that we're going to talk about in another show. But when I was talking to Tom and Maria, and I asked them, what was the incentive, for you to do this now? And Tom said, well, I can't sleep at night. And I said, what? He said, yes. He said, I needed Maria to be able to get safely to the bathroom because and every time she moved, I would get out of bed and help her. And he said, I just didn't want to fall asleep in case she needed my help. Well, after he said that, I looked around, and here, their bedroom carpeting was the same color as their walls. And of course, the bed was really like a nightstand away from the wall. And I thought, oh my gosh, what you really need is to change the color of your walls. So that's exactly what happened. When you're dealing with color, it's fun to think we've matched everything, or it looks like an open space because we've got it all the same color. That's fine, but you've got to remember, use this shadow effect. You have to create depth and dimension. And that's what was happening to Maria. Did you ever get up in the middle of the night and you have to go to the bathroom so bad, you literally run into the wall? That's why. So we changed the color of the wall. And then on top of that, I had to think, in order for Tom not to be disturbed in the middle of the night by Maria getting up and him having to help her, what more could I do? So I am, the lights in a plane, the run lights, when they say, if there's anything that happens, follow the run lights that go along, the side of the aisles. Well, I embedded a row of those lights in her carpeting, and I put a motion sensor to that. So whenever she started to move and get out of bed, a light path lit right to her bathroom door. I resolved the problem, but if I had not asked that question, I would have thought I was there to help them with the logistics of their bathroom and to create a new, renewed feeling and atmosphere for them in their bathroom. That is the key to all of this. You really need to understand why you're doing what you're doing and what is the end outcome that you're expecting. And if you don't ask that of yourself, and or if the person helping you doesn't ask you that, you're never going to feel satisfied. You're never going to feel like you picked the right paint color. You're never going to feel like everything flows. You're going to be frustrated. So don't be afraid. Tell your story to the person who's helping you, or even for yourself, have a conversation and figure out, why am I doing this? I want to share one more thing with you about color, because it affects every part of our life. And that's not just our interior, in our home or our office or where we play, but it's outside as well. And that's the key, bringing Mother Nature into our interior experience. That's what brings us the joy, and that's the whole point of having that color palette represent the experience you want. I want to talk about a word called color chromatic. So right now, everybody's into gray. It's the color because it's very neutral and you can put anything with it and accent anything with it. But if you have everything gray that's part of your world, you are going to get bored. So if you are going to create that comfort, neutral kind of atmosphere, think of it this way. See the tone and depth? It's because we have multiple colors of the gray. Remember the color wheel? That's why we can make this work. Otherwise, again, you're just going to look like you put yourself in a big mosh. Do you ever see it where the flooring is the same color as the cabinetry, and the cabinetry is the same color as the wall color, and the backsplash is the same color as the walls? And that's not fun. It might look nice, but it's not fun. Give yourself exactly what a color palette's meant to do. The depth, the dimension, an expression of movement of the energy. Enjoy it. If you have any more questions about color, or you're starting to think of making one of those changes in your own home, please don't hesitate. Contact me. My website is lauramineff.com, and I'd be more than happy to help you with your next amazing adventure.